All right. Testing, testing. Think I better turn the volume up just a bit. See if I can get my volume up so people can hear me. All right. I'm seeing you with a polka dot blouse. All right. Let's see. Our guest. All right. Woo. We are broadcasting live. I hope you can hear me. It looks like the audio is a little bit low, so I'm trying to do a combination of making sure my headset is turned on and up and making sure our volume is good enough. So I don't know if you guys can't hear me, then you'll have to go to the Instant Star Maker group and let me know you're having a problem hearing me. We are starting our Instant Star Maker Monday Night Media Hangouts again. Yes, we had so much fun last year. And I just am looking forward to really spending time with you guys, talking more about media, talking about how to get you in the media, and talking about what it really takes to make it happen. I also want to connect you with some of my friends who are in the media, and we have a great guest coming on tonight. Torian Scott has a brand new show. He's got a really incredible turnout for his show. It's an online show, but he's doing really, really well. And I want to introduce him to you. So this can be a really great night. This could be a really educational hour. I'm Dr. Letitia Wright. I'm host of the Right Place television show. And what I do is I help you be seen and be heard, help your business be seen and be heard. There are a lot of things going on in the media. And quite frankly, I forgot to turn on my cool new lights. So I'm going to do that while you guys stand there. And quite frankly, in the media, we need as many good images as we can get. How about that? We need as many good images as we can get. So I'm going to check in with our guest. I'm going to check in our Facebook group. For those of you who don't know, I host the Right Place television show. It's a nationally syndicated show. For the past 15 years, that's what I've been doing, producing television and producing film. And I'm going into 2015, and I have just this different mindset. And my mindset at this time is really that I want to create transformational TV. I want to create transformational film and documentaries about people who are making change in the world. We hear a lot of bad news, and I want to be the person who's giving you the good news. I want to be the person who's giving you something really incredible that you want to hear about. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go to explain how you get on a Google Hangout. And I'm going to explain this to everybody. So when you go on a Google Hangout, you must go to your Gmail account. Okay, that's the first thing you do. You go to your Gmail account. Why? Because Google Hangouts are attached to your Gmail account. If you have a Gmail account, you automatically have a Google+. Now click on your name with the plus sign at the top right-hand corner. Now, it's kind of weird because it's right at the top. You see your name and you see some other stuff and you see this little plus sign. The plus sign, for some reason, they don't make that blue, but your name is actually clickable, even though it's not blue. It's black. Somebody say it's black, but it's clickable. It's black, but it's clickable. So you're going to be in your Gmail account looking at your Gmail. You must have a Gmail account in order to do any of the Google Hangouts. And then you're going to look at your name in the top right-hand corner, and you're going to click on it. When you click on it, it takes you to the Google Plus area. If you are in the Google Plus area, you will see an invitation to the Hangout that you've been invited to. So in the Google Plus area, because I'm typing this to our guest, in the Google Plus area, you will see an invitation, a Hangout. All right? He should see an invitation to join my Hangout because I sent him an invitation to join the Hangout. And all he has to do is click it and say yes. So that's really how you join a Google Hangout. A lot of you don't know. Click yes to join. So I'm going to go over these again because Google Hangouts are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you need to know how to use these. So first you're going to go to your Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, you want to go and you want to get a Gmail account. When you get a Gmail account, Google Plus, Hangouts, YouTube, they all belong to Google. Okay, so he says, I don't see an invite. So I'm going to invite him again. I don't know why he doesn't see it, but we're going to invite people. And what it is that it's in a little green box. When you're in the Google Plus area, it's in the little green box. Keep saying send the invite. Keep saying send the invite again. So what you do is when you invite people into your Google Hangout, that means that their picture can be seen. What it does is that it creates a little green box at the bottom that says you're invited to a Hangout. And when you see this box, you can just click on it and get in there, get into there. Your camera will turn on. We'll see your face. We'll hear your voice, hopefully if your mic and everything is working. And all of those things are just part of learning the new thing. You want to learn how to get on Google Hangouts. You want to learn how to do Skype interviews because that's an easy, quick way to get into the media. When I interview people on Skype, I can very quickly turn that video around and get it on the air or get it online and have it all ready to go. So these are tools that are not just fun tools or free tools. These are really tools that will really help you. And it's kind of hard, you know, you tell people to practice. If you're doing webinars, if you're doing all of this, you've got to practice. People don't want to practice. People want to instantly be effective and good. And it doesn't work like that. So doing interviews like this can be hard because people are like, I don't know where to look. I don't know what to do. I don't know how things are working. It's not the same as having a camera person there. All of those are legitimate concerns. They really are. They're legitimate concerns. And what can happen is that with your practice, you get better. All of your interviews are not going to be great. And that's something you really need to know and understand. There's a reason why I use headphones and not just leave it open to have the sound, number one, bounce all over the room, but also because I don't want the sound to be crazy and echoing. The easiest way to start an echo is just have it open. So he says he sees it, but I'm going to tell him keep looking. There can be a lag. Okay, so that's another thing I need to share with people. When you're doing a Hangout, there can be a lag. The point of me saying something to you, you guys hearing it, you guys posting in the Facebook group or doing whatever action it is, there's a little bit of lag. So when you're in this seat and you're hosting and you're asking people to do things, you want to give them enough time. You want to give them enough time to really see whatever it is you're doing, because there is a lag. It's not instantaneous. It's not the phone where as soon as you talk, the person hears you. There's a lag. I don't know what the lag is. It doesn't even really matter what the lag is, because as long as you know it's there and you give people time to respond, it can work out just fine. So those are some little secrets to Hangouts. If you haven't been doing Hangouts and you've wanted to do Hangouts, that's the deal. I think that you should jump in. I think that you should be brave and you should jump in. Hangouts are going to be major media. They're going to be major media because Google is just taking over everything. Okay, Google is in a serious contention. I don't know if you guys know this, but Google actually has an internet service. There's only like 5 cities in the nation that have it right now. Austin's one of them. I forget what the other ones are. Utah or something, someplace in Utah. Um, and I'm not talking about you, Pastor Torian. I'm just teaching everybody. Pastor Torian said, "Don't be talking about me." I said, "I'm just teaching everybody." But let me go back to Google while we work this out and get him on the air. It's the invite is not in your email. It doesn't come to your email. It comes just a pop-up when you're in the Google Plus area. So you got to make sure you're actually in the Google Plus area and not just in your Gmail email area. So if you're looking for it, cool. Beverly Crockett says she's on. So welcome, Beverly. Beverly Crockett has been about her business. She got the email I sent out about a connection. She said thank you, and she said she's going to immediately work on it. So as soon as we hear back from whether or not you got booked, I want to hear about that, Beverly, so we can support you and we can listen to the show when you're on the show. You want to toot your own horn about being on the show, because if you get a lot of response of you being on a show, they will ask you back. Ta-da! Free of charge. Just gave you a really deep nugget. So welcome, Beverly. Glad that you have gotten on. I don't know who else is on. Anisha Carter asked me if it will be recorded. This will be recorded. Now, will I make it available? That's the real question, because I am building an educational portal and I have to decide what goes where. So try to come live to the events. Try to be on there live if you can, because I can't guarantee that you will get the recording. But if you're on the email list at instantstarmaker.com, I'm sending you people who are looking for shows. So how's it going, Pastor Torian, Scott? Send me a note. Let me know what you see, what you're doing, because you're not on. And I'm inviting you. I wonder if you have 2 emails out there. I have a, when I pull up your name, I see Torian Tashawn, and it comes out torianscott@gmail, and I'm sending the invite, but you're not seeing it, so I don't have any idea what's going on. The other thing is that when you're doing a Google Hangout, this was supposed to be about opening up the media connections, but we're going to get to that. When you're doing a Google Hangout, you do have to work with people, and people have to practice doing it. So maybe we should start doing practice emails. So for tonight, this is what's going on. Hey, if I'm just talking to Beverly, I'm happy because she's bad about it. Tonight's Hangout is brought to you by Angry Elephant. Angry Elephant is a nonprofit that supports the us stopping to kill elephants. Okay, they're out killing elephants, and elephants are going to be extinct at the rate we're going. And this Angry Elephant nonprofit is a friend of mine, James Rounds, and he gave us some really, really great t-shirts. So I'm putting this invite in one more time. I think it's going to the wrong Torian Scott. Nope. What about alfcoonline.com? Maybe you can get the invite if I send it to that one. I'm going to show you the Angry Elephant t-shirts because they're very hot. And tonight, our hashtag is going to be Angry Elephant, and I'm going to give away the t-shirt. So here are the t-shirts. I love sparkly bling. I don't know about you, but I love sparkly bling. It says Angry Elephant. And I'm going to give away this t-shirt. It's a ladies t-shirt. So I'm sorry, guys. I don't have any men's t-shirts. I just have ladies t-shirts. And I'm going to give them away. So what I want you to do is if you have an Instagram account, your Instagram account can post to Twitter. It can post to Facebook. I want you to post a picture of you watching the broadcast with pound Angry Elephant, and I'm going to randomly pick. So Beverly, right now, you are the front runner because we don't have a lot of people watching the broadcast right this second. So Beverly is a shoe-in to get the t-shirt and the goodies. So she's going to get on the show. She's going to get the t-shirt and the goodies and all of that stuff. Okay, so let's go back and see if we can get him on. Okay, so you are in the, this is the Passatorian. Can you hear me? Because I know that we're typing back and forth, but can you hear me? Is what I need to know. And Beverly, if you have any questions about what I just went over when it comes to how to get on a Hangout, let me know, because I want to make sure that people understand what the process is. When you understand what the process is, then it makes it easier for you, makes it easier for everybody else. And also now you have freedom to do your meetings a different way. I have a lot of meetings in Los Angeles, and I don't live quite in Los Angeles. I live a little bit far away. And awesome, Beverly. I live a little bit far away, and I always ask people in LA, you know, can we Skype? I don't want to drive 90 minutes into LA for a meeting. Can we Skype? And they're like, oh, I don't Skype. And I'm like, wow, you know, come back from the 1840s. These are great ways to communicate with people and save, you know, okay. So I don't know, Pastor Torian Scott. I think, I don't know what's going wrong. I don't know why you don't see the invites. So let's pick this up another time. It's frustrating. And what I'd like to do is I would like to introduce people to your show and what you're doing. So I don't know. We have to figure out what's going on. I don't know what to say. All I can say is I think I need to have a pre-test for guests just to make sure they really do understand how to get on a Google Hangout. So don't worry about that. All right. So Beverly, this is what she's saying. She says, thanks. I can hear you very well. And she said her pre-interview is this Wednesday. So she has a pre-interview coming up. A pre-interview, for those of you who might be like, what is that? Don't you just get booked on the show? A pre-interview is for the producer to figure out if you're a good guest. Now, is the pre-interview by phone or are you doing it on Skype, Beverly? Tell me. You don't have to tell me who it's with. Just tell me kind of what you're doing so I can speak to that. Um, the thing is with the pre-interviews, I totally understand having a pre-interview. I got to tell you, because there's nothing worse than getting a guest that turns out to be horrible. I love reading. I love books. And early in Right Place TV history, I would always try to book all these great authors. The authors I love would tell me no. And then so other authors I love would come on the show and then they'd sit there like a lump and just say, yeah, no, maybe. They were horrible. Great writers, but horrible interviews. So the pre-interview, I get that. You want something exciting for your people. And if you don't know if they're good or you don't know anything about them, then you want to have a pre-interview. So that's you guys. You guys are on this pre-interview. So what I say is make sure there is no background noise. Don't do the pre-interview in your car on your cell phone while you're driving. While you're, Beverly says she'll take her gift now. Thank you very much. You got to post something on Instagram, lady, at least, kind of halfway meet me there. uh, So don't do it when you're busy. Don't do it. I took a call today from a woman who wanted to be on a certain event and her kid was screaming in the background. And she was going, you're going in and out. I'm like, I can't talk over your kid. So you really need to have quiet, be completely professional, because remember, this person doesn't know you. This is their exposure to you. And what you're doing is going to make or break the difference. You want to be excited, but you want to match that person's energy, because when you're in the interview with them, you also need to match their energy. So practice matching their energy. I can have really crazy high energy. I really can. But when I'm the guest, I've got to match whoever is talking to me. So that's a big lesson that you need to know. So she said it's by phone. So that's awesome. So Beverly, I don't know. I don't remember what you do. You can post that in the Facebook group. But if some of you guys still have a job, my point is this: some of you still have a job. Do not do this interview at your job. You got to worry about your boss walking in, or a coworker walking by, or something else crazy going on. Don't do it. Make sure you have complete privacy. If you can, do a landline. I used to tell people not to do interviews on cell phones because cell phones would drop so much. So make sure you have a service that's really, really dependable. And for me, my family lives in Altadena, California. Altadena, California is up in the mountains. And I think the towers are up here, but the people are here. And I think the beam goes over Altadena, and Altadena has the worst reception. I mean, you just cannot call somebody else in Altadena on a cell phone, because you just don't get any reception until you drive down into Pasadena. So if you're in one of those places where there's just no reception, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, make sure that you have all the best tools that you can have, because here's the deal. This is how they're judging if you should be on there. The other thing is, don't spend time selling. Spend time teaching and educating and entertainment. It's got to be a little bit of a mix. You don't want to be boring. This is A, this is B, this is C. But You don't want to be selling. You don't want to be that person that's going, well, if you want to know that, it's in my book. Get my book. Or if you want to know that, it's in my book. Get my book. Really? Okay. Hate those. Hate those. Beverly says, what's so great about this is that I've been fine tuning my interviews with each interview I've done, and this makes about 5 within the last year. Beverly, you rock. 5 in the last 12 months, that's amazing. Most people haven't done 5 in the last 10 years. And that's what I want to ask you guys. How many interviews did you do last year? How many TV shows were you on? How many radio shows were you on? How many um, how many magazines wrote you about you? How many blogs wrote about you? How many newspaper articles were written about you? And what would happen if you went into 2015 doing everything that you all do, but additionally, you've got TV shows inviting you out, not you begging, inviting you out. Okay? Radio shows, people trying to interview you. What if you had that and could talk to those audiences? 200,000 people here, 500,000 people here. I write for examiner.com. Examiner.com has a huge audience. What if you could access that? How would your business change? That's what you have to ask yourself. How would your business change? The people that are getting ahead of you, the people that are doing that's awesome. She just posted her very smart Instagram because I can see me in it. Okay, I love that. I'm gonna repost that, and now I'm gonna get you your angry elephant t-shirt. You gotta I think we're friends on Facebook, Beverly. So ping me privately so I can mail this out to you, okay? I don't know if you're coming to the 72-hour retreat, but if you are, I'll give it to you in person. Anyway, Angry Elephant, awesome. Thank you, Beverly, for playing along. I so appreciate that. So these are the things that you got to think about, and think about how fast, how far your career can go. And when you see these people on TV that you know them, you know they're not as smart as you, they're not as good as you, but they're on TV and not you. Why? Have you even tried? A lot of you haven't even tried. You haven't even put any effort into media. And what I'm saying is you're missing out on a whole lot of things. There's so many channels and there's so much information out there. And my goal is to get you seen and heard. And my goal is also to get rid of all the negative stuff by putting in more positive stuff. Everybody talks about how bad TV is, how bad this is, how bad that is. Well, I'm the producer that's actually trying to do something about it. Everybody else is just talking and saying, I'm not going to watch TV. TV isn't horrible. It's just some of the stuff on it is. So I'm trying to bring some great people on there. So we're talking about today what to do if you've dropped the ball, if you've contacted media and then you didn't get back to them or different things happen. Now, the one situation can be this, and this has happened to me too. You've contacted some media, you've said you want to be on there, and then you get a little bit more information and you change your mind. It happens. I love to do research on whoever I'm working with. Whoever's going to be on the show definitely gets researched before I say yes. But sometimes I rarely turn down any interviews because I feel like I don't know where this show is going to go. I've had people call me about a show I recorded 5 years ago. So a person who's new doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a waste of time. They could blow up. And you get the benefit of that by being on some of their first shows. So there's nothing wrong with small shows. Plus, there's a great way to, try out some of your newer material in a smaller audience where, maybe if you don't do well, it won't hurt you. And I always do it. But sometimes I say yes, and then I check out the show, and I don't like what they're about. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like what they're saying, and I don't want to be on the show. So that can be a situation. It's not sort of the same thing as what I'm talking about in terms of you forgot, things happened, That's a situation where you just have to email them and say, hey, I need to decline this opportunity, or hey, my schedule has changed. I no longer can make the opportunity. Don't not show up and not say anything. Does that make sense? If that makes sense and you are in the group Facebook group, you should just put in there that makes sense. Let me know that you're listening and that makes sense. Okay. Email them. Here's why you don't want to just blow them off, because sometimes they have producers working with them, and producers move from place to place to place. Producers move from show to show, and you don't want a producer with a bad memory about you moving to the next show and then blocking you and saying, I don't think this person's going to be a good guest because, I worked for so and so and they were out. Oh, Beverly's right here in Moreno Valley. Hey, I forgot where you live. I forgot where you live, Beverly. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna send this out to you before I leave for the East Coast. So I'm gonna get to the post office tomorrow. And send us a picture of you wearing the Angry Elephant T-shirt. Send that to him, because James Rounds would appreciate that, and we help publicize the cause. So send us another Instagram pic. So if you've changed your mind, back to the media. If you've changed your mind, send them a note. Keep everything copacetic and get out of the interview. If you've been asked to interview and some things happen, life happens, things happen, you didn't get back to them, you didn't confirm, and they just never heard from you again. How do you come back? Because it's kind of funny, it's like I've been doing TV for 15 years. I've done over 500 interviews. I don't remember everybody that I've ever interviewed. I just don't. But I sure remember the people that blew me off. There's just something about that you just like, I know that person. So here's the deal. How do you handle that? Life happens. It wasn't intentional, but you never got back to them. What you want to do is you want to reintroduce yourself. Reintroduce yourself and say, hey, it's me. We talked last time. And just say, I dropped the ball. And then remind them what you'd like to talk about. I'm Dr. Wright, and I'd love to come on your show and share with your audience how crowdfunding works. You just have to eat crow. You don't have to apologize profusely. Just make it a simple email. Most people are booking people by email. A lot of people still don't want to take calls, and they don't confirm by text just because sometimes there's a lot of details. A lot of people, and Beverly, you can confirm if you had to do this too, you can post it in the room. A lot of people now have nice forms for you to fill out, and you can put all of your information, including your photo, including your website, and all of that. Did you do any of that, Beverly? If you did, post it in the room and share with the rest of the group how that worked for you. So just send a short email. If they respond, they respond. If they don't, they don't. Now, here's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. You need to keep your media contacts in a CRM. I hope you guys know what a CRM is. You need to keep your media contacts and keep up with how you're talking to people. The simplest way, and one of the best CRMs for people who are not super salespeople and don't really know how all those expensive services work. This service is about $10 a month, and it's called Pipedrive. I don't get any money out of this. I just love using Pipedrive because it's easy and it allows me to really keep all my contacts, remember what I was talking to them about, and remember where I am in the stage of the deal. So Pipedrive is perfect for media contacts because now you can put in there, I contacted them, I have an appointment, I was on the show, and now 4 to 6 months after you were on the show, providing that it went successful, you can contact them again about being on again. So we just covered two things. We might run out of time, but one, changing your mind. Two, if you drop the ball and you just didn't respond. The third type of situation where you need to reconnect is just, it's been a really long time since you've been on their show. I've been around for 14 years. There are some shows I haven't seen these people. I haven't run into them, and I haven't been on their show in 5, 6, 7, possibly 10 years. Now, provided that it was a good interview, you can say, hey, we haven't talked, send them an email. We haven't talked in a while. I'd love to catch up and see what you're doing. Find out what they're doing. One of my favorite blogs, I hadn't talked to her in a while. I didn't know what they were doing. And I got in contact with her, and they weren't doing the blog anymore. It was two young ladies. They did excellent, but they decided to go their separate ways. And one was working for the one that responded is working now at a very, very high-end magazine. And they have some very, very specifics that they're looking for. Now, great, I have a contact at this new magazine, but her old blog, which was a beautiful blog, I'm so sorry that they're not doing it anymore. But hey, everybody has their reasons. Business changes. And she's not doing it anymore. So don't just go, hey, I want to be on your show. Say, hey, what are you up to? I'd like to catch up. I'd like to find out how I can support you. Simple. Okay, so this is for if you have not been around in a long time. That's the technique to use. Again, I think email is the easiest. Phone calls happen when you really start getting together. And like I said, a lot of people are not texting yet. They don't quite do that. Maybe if texts start, well, texts do allow you to do some really long texts, because I know some people that send me some really long text messages. You're like, oh my God. But you know, you don't want to overwhelm people. So email is the best, because you can always go back and figure out where you are and, you know, and do that. If you're not getting a response, don't worry about it. There are a billion shows out there. You don't know what's going on in their life. They might be going through some things. Usually if I drop the ball, there's some things in my personal life that are just, you know, more important. You know, your kids are sick, your parents are sick, something's going on in your life. Your work may not be priority. We're all human. That happens. Don't get mad. You want to make sure that you are connecting with the right media and media that you're right for. I get a lot of media requests, and the ones that don't fit, I just don't even respond to them. And I had one lady, she was very upset with me, and she thought it was really rude that I didn't respond. And it was like, everybody you're pitching is not a good fit for my show. And I don't have time to respond to every single email. When you're looking at, you know, 50, 100, 150 emails a day, you just can't respond. You just cannot respond. So, you know, make it easy for people. When you use Pipedrive, you can go back every couple of months. If you pitch someone in January and you got no response, pitch them again in March. No response, pitch them again in May. No response, pitch them again in July. No response, pitch them again. You don't know what's going on. Just keep pitching. Last year, I was blessed to be on CNN.com twice. So you don't know what the opportunities are. Take them and run with it. Take them and run with it. So let me just check the Facebook group. Our Facebook group is Instant Star Maker. If you're watching and you have questions, this is where all of the questions go. You have to be a part of the group, And we do allow you in, so you can't just join, but you can ask to join and we'll let you in. So we'd love to have you part of Instant Star Maker group on Facebook.com. If you're enjoying it, please do share this out to your friends. Let them know Instant Star Maker and Media Mondays are back. Our hashtag is Pound Media Mondays. And we're doing some really, really great stuff. I am on my way to Maryland. I'll be leaving in a couple of days. And we have the 72-hour retreat. Some of you might have seen some of the Facebook advertisements and media. And it's going to be fantastic. It's a free event. It's streaming online. So if you'd like to see me, I am doing another media presentation online. And I'm also doing a crowdfunding presentation too. And it's going to be a really, really great event. There are so many great speakers and teachings, and I just say you should definitely take advantage of it. We've got a whole fresh new bunch of people, and it's super, super exciting. It is a live event that we're streaming, and then some of the speakers are pre-recorded, and so you'll be able to watch them online. Either way, it's all online. And if you don't show up in person and you're not at the retreat center with us in person, it's okay. You won't miss any of it. Um, it's an amazing time, but I also want you guys to check it out, because the next time Peak Performers, Shea Brown Trevor Arts Group, the next time they have a big speaking event, I want you guys, I want my stars to be a part of that. I want you guys to start reaching out and seeding your media packages. When people see how you are, then they can book you in safety. There's nothing worse than booking somebody who turns out to be a horrible, horrible guest. So here's what Beverly is saying. She's in the Facebook group. And she says, I've sent out my bio and a picture via an email and a copy of my book via mail services ahead of my interview. That's perfect. That's exactly how you handle that. You have to have a good bio. See, some of you want media, but you're not even ready for it. You got to have a good bio, and you got to have a picture that looks like you lately. Don't send them a picture that looks like you 10 years, 20 years ago. She said, I had to send an outline of what my content of the interview would be prior to. Sometimes they want an outline. Sometimes they want it written. Some of you are concerned that they're going to take your materials and go use it and teach it themselves. And that's quite possible. But here's the thing. If they don't really know it, what are they going to teach? I mean, an astrophysicist could hand me my paper, and I'm a physician. I can teach it. But do I have any in-depth knowledge? Could I answer any students' questions? No. So stop worrying about people stealing your stuff and worry about you getting your butt out there. Okay? Good. Beverly posted what she does. You guys can support her. She's got 2 interviews, and 2 interviews were in person and 3 were on the phone. So she was in person, she was on the phone, she was doing it. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously she's in the group because she wants to do even more. She wants to do even more. So we've got about 20 minutes left. I want to open up the floor to your questions that are in the group. James Round saw our post that we are live. So I'm posting to him. He's the one that created Angry Elephant. So I'm telling him, Beverly just won an Angry Elephant t-shirt. Pound Angry Elephant. And we're putting that down there to let him know that we're supporting him. You put pound because when you put in hashtag or pound, the person can go back and find it. Does that make sense? Person can go back and find it, see what you posted, and support you. You got to support other people, and then they support you. And James Brown is very, very, very generous. Maybe that's why he's so prosperous, because he's so generous. Maybe that's the key. I have to ask him, how'd you get so prosperous? But he does his thing. So stars, I'm going to open up the floor to questions, ideas, what you should be doing. The biggest thing is you've got to be prepared for the interview. So she already had her photo, she already had a media bio, and she had her book ready to go. I've had people say, I want to be interviewed. I say, great, send me a book. And they never send the book, or they don't have a book, or it's like, are you serious? Come on, people. If you want to talk about your book, now, granted, there are all kinds of things that you can talk about. For example, right now, everybody's talking about Bobby Christina, the shark on the left. If you are a dance major, this is a great time to get in the news and explain what the heck that other shark on the Super Bowl was doing. Because they were not doing the same thing. I don't know who was wrong, right shark or left shark. But, of course, I tend to favor right shark. But you need to know what's going on and tack on to that. So anybody in the area of dance, music, and entertainment can comment on Left Shark from the Super Bowl. Entertainment, health, mental health can comment on Bobby Christina. Yeah, people are, talking about how she's not doing well and everything. And that really probably sounds like you're piling on, but guess what? That's what everybody else is using for news. If you've got something good, if you've got something special, if you've got a way to train people so that they're not in the situation that poor Bobby Christina is in. I mean, let's hope she pulls through, and let's hope that she gets the help that she needs, and that they never let her get that close to the edge again. But mental health in the African American community is definitely something to talk about. It's a topic to talk about. And if that's, not what you're doing, you're going to miss out on some news. You got to look at what's trending and hop on to that. So I've given you guys a little bit of time to go ahead and post. Torian Scott is also now a member of the group, so welcome, Torian Scott. A lot of people are very, very busy. Beverly says she's going to be attending the 72-hour event online. That's awesome. I think you're going to really like it, and you're going to learn a lot, because the caliber of teachers are awesome this year. I can't wait to meet people, and definitely watch my class. So do you guys have any questions? It's open posting, so you guys can post whatever you need to post right now, but you want to keep your connections open. And the way you keep your connections open with media is to connect with them. Every 60 days, connect with them. The no might not really be no, it just might mean not right now. Okay, just not right now. And you've got to have the tools that you need. Now, next week, I'm going to be doing a presentation, and I'm going to be showing you I'm going to show you the whole PowerPoint and everything that I'm doing. It's a great new PowerPoint too, by the way. And we're going to talk about some of the tools that you need. You need a professionally written press release. A lot of people are writing these little promotional flyers and thinking that they're press releases and wondering why they're not getting a response. You need a media bio, a bio that's made for the media. It's not your CV from when you're 12. Someone else is like, when I was 3, I did blah, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with what you're doing now. You need a bio that will get the host and the producer excited about talking to you. You need some headshots. You need to work on your sound bites. Sound bites are the cute little things that you say. When I'm talking about money, one of my sound bites is money loves speed. Money loves speed. You fool around and fool around and fool around, you're not going to get any money. Money loves speed. So You've got to have your whole package ready so when people are asking you to be on the show, you can be a good guest. They ask you to send your book and you don't have any, and you got to wait 3 months to get another set of books. You're probably out of luck. You're just probably out of luck. And that's really scary that you're working towards something and you're so close and you can't get it. That's what I don't want. That's what we're here to teach you about. The instant star maker isn't about being an instant star, because nobody's an instant star. You may not have seen all the work that they've done, but nobody's an instant star. People were like, who's Missy Elliott on the Super Bowl? And I'm like, who's Missy Elliott? You really, really don't know who Missy Elliott is? Oh my gosh. I gotta tell you, that is not, you know, that's not what it's about. So Missy Elliott's been a star for a while. Just because they didn't know who she was doesn't mean she didn't do anything. Okay? Thank you. Torian Scott says this info is really great, Dr. Wright. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to refresh the page because if you don't refresh the Facebook page, then it says somebody posted, but you won't know. Biographical sketches are so important in this phase of technology. Yes. You have got to be clear on what you need. Beverly says she's excited about the opportunities that are opening up for her, and I am too. And I'm excited for all of you, because this year you are not going to have an excuse. I'm bringing everything for you, everything that you need. When I worked with our girl, she's a fantastic writer, Chansey Witcher. Love Chansey Witcher. When I worked with her, she came to me and she said, you know what, Dr. Wright, I've done everything I know how to do, and I believe that this book could be a national bestseller. And I was at a point where I kind of had heard all before, and I didn't really know her. And I said, great, send me a copy of the book and I'll go from there. 2 days later, I got the book. She wasn't playing around. And it turns out her book was great. Long story short, we worked on getting her media here and there. We built it up, we built it up, we built it up. And her book is a Christian book for children. She was featured on CBN on their Pledge Week in 2013, almost 2 years ago, on their Pledge Week. That means she was on 3 times a day for 5 days straight. Her sales went through the roof. That's what being in the media can do for you. That's what the media can do for you. So when I say instant star maker, it's not about being an instant star, but it is about getting your message out there. It's about being seen and heard in the places that make a difference. So for those of you, if you're looking for, you need a press release, you know, that's something that you can get done. You can text me, press at 909-235-9744 if you want a press release. I'll call you back and we'll get it set up. The press release includes a professional press release written and distributed online so that you get links back to your site. And the places that I distribute to, we're able to get 200 to 250 or more places to carry your story. And that's important. You want all of those references pointing back to your site and giving you traffic. And if you haven't done anything in the last quarter, it's February. Wake up and smell the coffee. Put out a press release about what you're doing right now so that people can know who you are, what you're doing, and come and see you. You've got to toot your own horn before they toot it for you. A lot of you are not comfortable with that, but that's the truth. You've got to prime the pump. And after you prime the pump, after you work hard, then people are like, oh my God, this is the greatest person ever. And they're tooting your horn. Provided, of course, that you keep up the good work. If you fall off the wagon, then. Now, Beverly says, here's a question. What's your opinion on photos? Professional or your friend's cell phone? Not being funny, but I've seen professionals use iPhones to take pictures. Okay. In general, iPhones are awesome, especially the iPhone 6. When it comes to pictures and video, it can do some incredible things. Here's the deal though. Your friends are not professional photographers. Now, my friends that are photographers, Photoham on Instagram, he's amazing. Yolanda Mason, she's right here in the Inland Empire. Photoham's in LA. Amazing people. Yolanda Mason does my photos for Gwynnie B when I do the shots for the clothes and all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing. You're not a professional photographer. You might have a professional cell phone or you might have a camera that's professional, but they're not professional photographers. So I say, get a professional photographer to sit with you and create the photo. This is for you to use. You can use a professional photo for a year or two. It depends. It depends on your health. It depends on how you look. If you've lost a bunch of weight, then you want to get a new picture. If you've gained a bunch of weight, then you want to get a new picture. Torian Scott, who's in the room now, he had, to me, he's looked exactly the same for like the last 5 years that I've known him. He just doesn't look like he has changed at all to me. So he can use a picture from 5 years ago. It looks like him right now. But some of you, 5 years ago, you don't look at your hair is longer or it's a different color, or if you change your whole style. You know, if I was to start wearing my hair straight, I would want to do a whole new set of photos, because when you see all this and then I come to you in person and my hair is straight, you're going to be like, I wore my hair in braids once and this guy didn't recognize me. So you want to use professional photos. Professionals are foolish sometimes and cheap. So that's what I say about that. If I handed my iPhone to Photoham or Yolanda Mason, they could create some great photos. But if I handed it to just somebody standing next to me and there's enough lighting, that doesn't mean it's a great photo. So you have got to think about that. So I say, invest in yourself. You gotta be worth it. You gotta be worth it. Invest in yourself. I mean, how much does it cost to get a good photo? There are photo places everywhere. Okay. So I don't agree with that. Again, the iPhone 6 is amazing, but you've got to know how to use it and be amazing. We have about 4 more minutes left. And again, like I said, if you need a press release, you haven't done anything in the media, that's the bottom minimum that you should be doing. You can give me a text, text press to 909-235-9744. Let's get you a press release. Let's get it out there. Let's get your name known. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's the first Media Monday coming back. And I think the instant replay is set up. I'll let everybody know in the room. The instant replay is probably set up for a couple of days. And depending on how good this is, I may or may not make it available after that. It may go into our education portal and be available for people who need some education. We are coming back on next week, Monday night. So be there or be square. I'll be fresh back from 72-hour retreat. So get ready, get ready, get ready. It's awesome. Beverly you have officially won the Angry Elephant t-shirt. I've gotten your address, and thank you guys so much for joining me. Remember, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. And I'll see you next time.